like and subscribe. What are the bullies / bullied from your school doing now? Committed suicide. Used to tell me to kill myself in middle school. Still not sure how to feel. A few years ago, I read about I went to school with who was shot and killed in self-defense by a store clerk he was robbing. That poor guy. I feel bad for him having to live with shooting a robber dead. One of ours is currently up on charges of criminal confinement, intimidation, and battery. So clearly the same thing they were doing in school 30 years ago. Isn't it strange that, if no one deals with them at this young age, they carry on their behavior as adults? Weird that. Last time I checked, he was arrested in our hometown for armed robbery and conspiracy to commit a felony. Edit, this was the bully. Second edit, I randomly googled his name, and found out he was later arrested in 2024 burglary, rape and forceful penetration of with a foreign object. Decomposing. I had to look her up, but it looks like she is married, sells MLM, and is constantly posting things like, "Girl, God is with you." I think that is worse than bullying. I don't actually know. I think they are real estate agents. Years ago I ran into someone at a gas station who was pretty much a to me in high school. He is / was a firefighter now. He actually apologized for being an asshole to me. I just shrugged it off, like it was nothing. But all I could think about was that scene with Buscemi and Billy Madison. Died from cancer. He's one of the vice presidents of one of the biggest banks in the US. Don't worry, everyone in banking is a vice president of something. My uncle is a guardian / ward for the state. He gets assigned by the courts to be responsible for a person's affairs if a person is unable to care for themselves. He acts in their best interest. He asked if I knew a guy from my high school and inquired about him. I told him he was a bully, untrustworthy and on drugs at the time. He said, this makes sense as he was trying to access his mother's money that was under his guardianship since she was incapacitated. Unfortunately, it seems nothing's changed since high school. I'm editing my post for the grammar police, as I was half asleep when I wrote it. They all had children together straight out of school, then seemed to swap partners and have more children. Now there is a whole bunch of them who all hate each other because they're all dating each other's exes and all the kids have half siblings all over the place. There's about 8 ex-bullies in this partner swap web and it's a mess. I still love watching all the Facebook drama it comes with though. Last I checked on Facebook a couple years ago, she is still a bully. We're not friends on FB, but she made public posts about wanting to beat another jealous. Still dramatic and petty, even in our 30 years. Kinda sad honestly. I cold no it care less. They all came out of the closet as lesbians. I guess they were bullies in school to hide it. I have read so many stories from LGBT people about their bullies coming out later in life. It is definitely a defense mechanism to cope with their inner turmoil. He is a doctor now. Got a job as director at his parents' hospital at the age of 26. Some people have it set for life. Then COVID pandemic hit, and it was business booming for private hospitals in India, so now they are building a bigger hospital. That is a way of life in India. You grease your way through a Thai med school and spawn Thai hospitals and get married to an equally Thai family and spawn little heads. You keep walking tall brother. Our class bully works as a manager in a hotel. Edit I have no idea why this comment is popular. He looks as usual happy, sly self in his work photo, I should say mugshot, so I doubt he's suffering much. The actual good news is that his biggest victim is now a specialist doctor that works at a hospital, with a cute little baby boy and a hot wife judging by his Facebook photos. The lack of specificity in the responses as to whether they are speaking about the bullies or the bullied is hilarious. He died in a terrible drunk driving accident. Yeah. That guy for being bullied, am I right? /s. One of my bullies from middle school killed himself. Dead accidental suicide. He drank too much and had an argument with his missus. He went home and threatened to hang himself. Had a diabetic dip and accidentally took himself out. His GF found him the next day and had to ring his family on holiday. Detailing my son's Toyota. I see that you recently watched Back to the Future. My bully hung himself in year 9. The teacher instructed everyone to write some nice memories about him. I cold note and ended up on after school detention, where you guessed it, vertical bar. We had to write something about him. I wrote 5 pages double-sided detailing everything he did to me for the last 7 years. I even named names of teachers and school administration who refused to do anything. I then handed it to the supervising teacher at detention, which made her cry. She marked me off for the remaining 2 weeks of detention I had received, as she knew I was no bull. No one writes 5 pages double-sided with the amount of detail I had put into it in theorable. 34 years later I still feel nothing for this guy. I do not hate him, vertical bar. I just wonder what was going on in his life to be such a asshole. Sitting around stone scrolling through Reddit until bedtime. My elementary school bully was shot right outside my window. I kid you not. Poor kid. He was only 17 when he died. I hold nothing against him, and I wish his life were cut short so tragically. The only guy who ever tried to bully me and start a fight with me oddly enough disappeared at sea with some of his sidekick buddies. 4 guys went diving then, as the story goes. As they surfaced, their boat was half sunk. It then continued sinking, and they were left miles from shore. However, they were wearing dive gear, meaning tanks, snorkels, masks, fins, BCDs, inflatable life jackets more or less. They started swimming, and the only survivor claims that he saw a buoy and started swimming for it, and when he looked back the other 3 were out of sight. He was rescued off the buoy, and no sign of the other 3 were ever found. There is speculation that there was foul play, maybe a drug deal gone wrong. Who knows, only that one guy, and he sticks to his story like glue. The boat was retrieved, and it had no issues like leaks. Though it could be argued that the engines were too large and allowed the back of the boat to be too low or something. It has been 30 years and the families still have a website out with info on them, but a vertical bar Theo gone man. Edit. For those interested in the story. From Outside Magazine. https://www.outsideonline.com/outdoor-adventure/without-trace/ Interview with father of one of the missing guys. https://www. iHeart.com/podcast/269 Can I help find your missy 63,030,722/ episode/ Where is David mad at Omashira 73,669 837/ The website set up by their family. You can see how dated it is due to how long ago it was made and never updated. https://www. Vanished. Org. For extra context, my run-in was with Oma mostly. I was at a park with my cousin and my little sister. He and his buddies just started doing ish things, so we left, but my cousin yelled back that he was a jerk, so they surrounded us, and we just stood there mouthing off to each other. He wanted to fight, but was unwilling to throw the first punch. I was and still am a total pacifist, so I was willing to defend myself, but couldn't be goaded into fighting either. His friends on the other hand were the type of sidekick guys that say yeah, get him, kick his sea base and stuff like that. It ended with us just angrily walking away from each other. Then, as luck would have it, we went to the same school the next year. With him a year behind me. But that was it. No further conflict. I think actually he turned out to be an okay guy, and was well liked in high school and college. I don't know, and I really hope I never see them again. Nursing. Seriously, there's a strange overlap between being a bully as a kid and growing up to be a nurse. I know so many. Desperately pushing MLMs on social media. One was jailed or something similar for molestation. One moved because he got caught sending nudes to a furry girl. The rest are all crackheads that will never leave that Titan. I looked mine up on Facebook. They all have families and grandkids. Lost track of those dudes long ago. I haven't talked to him since I was 15. I'm 33 now, and I haven't seen him since I was 18. Out of curiosity, I googled him a couple years back. He's apparently married and has a kid, but I also found his Twitter feed, which was filled with nothing but profanity-laden tirades against sports teams. There was literally nothing else, and I found his LinkedIn page that said he was a shift manager at Starbucks. I actually think that's outdated. I know a lot of people who have very outdated LinkedIn pages, but I really do wonder, although frankly I don't care. Don't care. Stopped giving a when I left school. A lot of the girls who were bullies in my class turned out to be nurses/caretakers or hairstylists. Lol. I'm a working family man now, so Mebediah's gotta bring home the bagels. Not sure how I would know. Left my home state a week after high school and haven't returned in over 40 years. Same. I was the only kid from my HS class to go out of state. It was the best decision I ever made. Last time I saw him, we ran into each other at a party, and he was sweating because I had a restraining order against him. I didn't really care, as long as he left me alone, which he did rapidly. Incarcerated for assaulting his sister. Edit. Dug a little deeper and saw that he also assaulted a peace officer and an elderly person. Classy. Found a way to torture me to this day, being nowhere to be found online, so I cannot even have the satisfaction to know their lives. Haha. For reference, I graduated in 1987. One of the biggest bullies from school, who I lost touch with, and honestly didn't miss, ended up coming out as gay about 15 years ago. Turns out denying who you really are makes someone pretty angry. He's really cool now. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck. 3 weeks of